Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite warlock, practicing necromancer. And today I want to talk to you about my latest tool in the arsenal of services. Okay. Um, Yesterday, I did a semi quick video discussing what my services are and where you can go to employ them. Also, the plans of, you know, a site that I'm thinking about utilizing down the road. But I thought I would take a moment and kind of discuss what this new charm is. Now, we all know about the Teflon, okay? A Teflon is a Jewish and Hebrew custom medallion, okay? Today we refer to these as phylacteries. The totem, we call it one of two things. First is an amulet, the amuletum, okay? And which is in Latin, by the way, meaning to protect. You wear it and protect yourself from different things. It also is an energy store. The second is a talisman. This is what you place on your wall to protect your sacred spaces and stuff like that. But a lot of people really don't go into other areas of what a phylactery is. So the next thing on the phylactery is called a relic, a dark relic. In Christianized ways, the cross of Jesus, for an example, would be considered a holy relic. The scepter that their pope has is considered a relic. Okay, so when you get into the occult, a relic would be a phylactery of some sort. It would be like, say, a bone charm, for an example. Something of power that is associated to spiritualism and magic in general. Another aspect of this is called a totem. Okay. Now, a totem is something that sits, it's a stationary item that sits on your altar. And its main purpose is to be an intermediary. Think of it like a black gate, if you will. It literally stores energy. You can use it as an intermediary and transfer that energy. It stores the energy. You can manipulate the energy. It helps you connect to your demons that you associate with your gods, like say the Orisha or the Loa, for an example, the Exu or the demonic. Even the old gods that you work with, like, say, Kali, or, the Hindu gods, or that of, say, the African-based gods, or the Greek gods, the Norse gods, and so forth, throughout the old world. So, basically, these are the representation of the gods that you worship, like Baphomet, for an example. So that would be a stationary item. Now, what I'm employing is called the bone charm. Okay, and it's a rite that I perform, and I use actual bones. It can be done one of two ways. One is with human bones. The other is with animal bones. Okay, now you can go to like a grocery store, pick up a turkey, for an example, and use a leg, or you can go to a slaughterhouse and purchase the animal bones that way. Okay. As for the human bones, there are legal ways to obtain them. They're just costly. Okay. So it comes down to the amount of effort and methods that you want to employ in that aspect. Okay. Um, but what is a bone charm? The bone charm, like I said, takes place with a bone, and what it is you are calling on certain entities. It is basically made for domination. It is for protection, for curse work, and spiritual manifestation, not just the spiritual communication, if you will. all of these things is applied to a bone charm. And the bone charm is actually a Scottish rite going as far back as the 17th, 16th century of the Highlands, which is pretty cool to know. But it's not just that, it's also in Anglo-Saxon, it's in the Slavic traditions, it's literally European in general. So it's not just a Western, African, or Caribbean tradition. It's all over the place. These rites take time to set up because you have to align, you have to cleanse the product, you have to cleanse the item, you have to name it, you have to charge it, you have to, and do it with whatever manifestation, ritual that you want on it. And then you've got to infuse it with a particular spirit, like, say, an ancestor, or let's say, for an example, you want to do curse work, so you would use a particular demon like Abraxas, for an example. Pazuzu, if you want to go old school, and so forth. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go along with this, but it is one of my new services that I am now officially applying to my services, not just spellcraft, not just Dibbit boxes and so forth. So I thought I would take a moment and kind of break that down and kind of just, kind of enlighten you on what this particular service is, because I've had a couple of people ask me, what is a bone charm? What does it do? Well, it depends on how you want to use it. For an example, if you want to use it in necromantic rites for communion with spirits and entities, then you can infuse it with that, but it's mostly through dominance. It's dominion based. So you want to infuse a spirit or a particular spirit, like, say, an animal familiar or a spirit familiar, a spiritual guide, if you will, unholy demon, if you will, if you're into demonolatry and Satanism. So that aspect would be for spiritual communion. Now, if you want it for protection, you could utilize, say, for an example, the Bugarest. You know it as a black dog or hellhound. Okay? You can employ them for protection and attach them to this. It is a form of manifestation and attachment, spiritual attachment. So you can actually place that in, like, say, your altar room and just give them free reign of your apartment or your home, even your property. So if you're doing rituals, let's say in a cemetery, that hellhound has free roam to guard all your rituals items, your ritual space, and whatever else that you want to keep safe at that location. Okay? Now, let's say, for an example, you want to curse somebody with the bone charm. And this is another application of what a bone charm can do. And like I said, the human bones are much more potent. But like I said, it's going to cost a lot more depending on where you have to go to get them. And they can be anywhere from, say, if you want real bones, you're looking at anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 right off the bat for that. And that, like I said, there's medical facilities that cleanse the bones of any bacteria or anything, and you can actually utilize the sterilized bone. You just want to cleanse it beforehand anyways. That's just common sense. It's the reason why it's called banishing rites and cleansing rites. Okay? So, animal bones are much more easier to get your hands on, especially here in the U.S., and you can actually legally acquire them. You can go to farms. You can go out into the woods and find a carcass. You can go to a butcher's shop. Okay, you can even go to a grocery store and, like I said, get a big giant turkey and utilize the bones from that turkey or a small chicken. Okay, either way, you got the bones. Okay, they're great for curses, they're great for hexes and jinxes. So like I said, in this case, you'd want to be able to bury this on the property of an enemy. You want to be able to utilize this as a way to put it near where your target's going to be. So you'd want to charge it with that vile magic, that baneful magic. You want to attach certain spirits to it. Like I would go with Samael, the venom of God, or Abraxas, the one that incites war and chaos within family and friends, enemies even. And then, like I said, you want to go into, if you want to haunt them, you want to torment them. There are so many different types of spirits that you can attach to that bone charm for that specific purpose. So that's basically what a bone charm is. And like I said, it is a rite that I do employ for services. And so it's up to you if you wish to come to me. I only charge $300 for it, for its creation, and that's including shipping and handling to you, no matter where you are in the country or the world. It doesn't really matter. But like I said, I wanted to kind of break that down and kind of let you know this is what a bone charm is. It doesn't just deal with prayer. It doesn't just deal with spiritual communion. It deals with healing. It deals with spiritual communion. It deals with curses and hexes and biomagic. So there's a lot of applications to it. So that's what that is. Okay. And like I said, I do employ it now. So that is a service that I now do for you. And like I said, you can go right underneath here, my YouTube channel. And I did a video, what was it, yesterday. I've also posted an actual posting of my services and the cost of each one of them. So it comes down to what you want to employ. Now, personally, a lot of my clientele, they do the $1,000 one, because that's two different types of spells plus an amulet that I put into that one service. So you're getting 3 in 1. So it's pretty cool. But like I said, that's up to you if you wish to employ my services or not. Nobody twist your arms or anything. So I'm just letting you know that this is stuff that I do. All right. Now, I do know that some people have come down here. Danielle, welcome. Batu Myers, welcome. What is this? Oh, wrong one. John, welcome. Alrighty. So, anyways, a lot of you know me as a Black Magi. I am a Archbishop with a Doctorate of Divinity in Multi-Faith Theurgy. And I work for demons. I am a practicing necromancer, practicing warlock. So don't confuse me with a white light practitioner of the right-hand path. So, anyways, with that said, I want to thank everybody for jumping on here with me. I always try to leave you guys with 2 key points of knowledge. Number 1, always make yourself available to the public because you're responsible for the things that you do and say. Second of all, always back up what you preach with numerous sources and references. Okay? I always try to leave you guys with an education. So, if you like what I do, feel free to hit that notification button. Feel free to hit that subscribe button so you know when I'm on again. And like I said, I want to thank everybody who's jumped on here with me. It means a lot. For those of you who are going to jump on after this video is over, thank you. It means a lot. I hope you guys learned a lot from my channel and everything. And like I said, reach out and if you want to employ my services. And I'm not one of those guys that sit there and keep hounding you on advertisements. So this just happened to be something that a few people have inquired about, and they wanted to know more about what it is. So I thought I would do it. So with that said, I'm out. I'm going to go spend some time with my kitties. I got some stuff to do because I got a client that I got to go do work for later tonight into tomorrow. So I got to get things ready. And I got to go to the store and print out a photo. My laptop's still not working, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that at the moment. I do know I got to go get another battery for it. Battery basically went kablooey. So I got to figure out where I'm going to get a battery for my HP laptop. Pretty sure I got to figure out how to work that site. My son's mother actually told me about the site where I can actually get it. So I'm going to check it out today and order it. And from what I understand from the guy in the electronics at Walmart, it can cost me up to about $50 to get a battery through them. So it's like, okay, that's reasonable. So cool. And then I'll be able to continue my book that I'm writing. I haven't been able to write further on my book since about a year and a half ago. But then again, I've also been very busy with clients, my family, work, and all that stuff. So fun. So it's not all about sitting there in an altar room and calling on spirits. You actually have to work. So it's a lot of dedication and commitment to do what I do. And I just know that a lot of my clients are happy with my work, and most of the time I just seek apotheosis. That's it. So, all right. Have a good day. Have a good night wherever you are in the world. And until next time, I am out.